voters, in particular those in suburban swing districts.
I don't want to use this precious time attacking the other side, because as we saw last week, that kind of talk only serves to divide the country further. I'm here because we need my husband to be our president and commander-in-chief for 4 more years. He's what is best for our country. We all know Donald Trump makes no secrets about how he feels about things. Total honesty is what we as citizens deserve from our president. Whether you like it or not, you always know what he's thinking.
Also speaking last night in an appeal to young voters, the president's daughter, Tiffany Trump.
Like so many students across the world, I graduated from law school during the pandemic. Our generation is unified in the facing the future in uncertain times. And many of us are considering what kind of country we want to live in. As a recent graduate, I can relate to so many of you who might be looking for a job. My father built a thriving economy once, and believe me, he will do it again.
The party's goal to show a unified front behind the president and generate some much-needed momentum as the president prepares to formally accept the nomination on Thursday. The president's son, Eric Trump, joined his sister Tiffany and First Lady Melania in making the pitch for his father.
To the voiceless, shamed, censored, and canceled, my father will fight for you. To our farmers who work dawn to dusk to keep our plates full, my father will fight for you. To every single mother and father, to our veterans, our coal miners, and to the American worker, my father will fight for you. And to every proud American who bleeds red, white, and blue, my father will continue to fight for you.
President Trump again appeared multiple times. Another headliner, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who touted Trump's foreign policy record in remarks recorded in Jerusalem.
This president has led bold initiatives in nearly every corner of the world. In China, he's pulled back the curtain on the predatory aggression of the Chinese Communist Party. The president has held China accountable for covering up the China virus and allowing it to spread death and economic destruction in America and around the world. And he will not rest until justice is done.
Pompeo's speech has drawn scrutiny and criticism for its departure from State Department protocol and prompting a House Democrat to look into whether or not he violated the Hatch Act, which prevents federal employees from engaging in partisan politics while on duty. Early ratings indicate the first night's viewership was down from the Democrats' opening night. And during the RNC proceedings, President Trump took the opportunity to pardon the founder of an organization that helps ex-convicts find work. Tuesday, President Trump announced in a video online that he was issuing a full pardon to John Ponder. Ponder is the founder and CEO of Hope for Prisoners Incorporated.
Now I'd like to invite John's wife, Jamie, to join us as I grant John, I'm not sure you know this, a full pardon. So I don't know if you know that, Jamie. Come on over here. It's just an honor. And you have done incredible work.
Thank you, sir.
And all of Las Vegas and all of Nevada and all of every place in this country is very proud of you. The job you've done, bringing people back. And you're right, I was supposed to be there for 5 minutes. I stayed for an hour and a half because it was so interesting to me. Congratulations to both.
Thank you, sir.
Richard, thank you very much for the job you do.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Ponder served time in prison for a bank robbery. He has been out of jail for more than a decade now. Since then, he has been working to grow his charity, which helps former inmates re-enter back into society. Ponder, who was a 3-time convicted felon, was granted pardons by the Nevada Board of Pardons for state crimes earlier this year. Trump's action clears a federal bank robbery charge from Ponder's record. And as unrest continues across the country, police say at least 2 people are dead after a shooting that happened last night in Kenosha, Wisconsin. A third gunshot victim is recovering at the hospital right now with serious injuries. County Sheriff David Beth told the New York Times his office is investigating whether the shootings resulted from a conflict between demonstrators and a group of men with weapons who were protecting area businesses. Demonstrators have been filling the streets this week, demanding justice for Jacob Blake. He's a 29-year-old who was shot in the back by police. That happened Sunday night. He's partially paralyzed, and according to his family, there's a good chance that could be permanent. The Kenosha Professional Police Association is now calling on the public to withhold from passing judgment until all the facts are known and released. And an Idaho rancher, you may remember him, who made headlines, this is back in 2016, for leading an armed occupation of federal land in Oregon, is making headlines once again. Yep. Officers say they arrested Eamon Bundy, remember him, during a special session of the legislature after he refused to leave the Capitol building in Boise. Bundy was one of 3 people arrested for not wanting to leave. The move was an effort to make a protest to Governor Brad Little's state of emergency, along with other pandemic restrictions that they want him to end. Bundy, along with the others, now all face trespassing charges. In other news, the CDC updates its guidelines on coronavirus testing. The agency now says that people who are exposed to the virus may not need to be tested, even if they've been in close contact with someone who is known to have the virus. According to the previous guidelines, viral testing was appropriate for people with recent or suspected exposure, even if they were asymptomatic. The CDC changed the recommendations on its website Monday. It didn't really offer an explanation to the change, and some doctors appear to be a little puzzled by it. A spokesperson at the Department of Health and Human Services denied the change would affect contact tracing efforts. And while the CDC hasn't released the reasoning behind its new testing guidelines, it could have something to do with the recent findings from a German study. So it found that 85% of COVID-19 patients showed at least one symptom of the disease. The Robert Koch Institute conducted the study, easy for me to say, with more than 2,100 patients, and this happened between late June and early July. Those with coronavirus antibodies reported experiencing symptoms such as fever, shortness of breath, rhinitis, or coughing. The researchers explained that it shows the importance of testing people based on their symptoms. The study also found that 40% of the patients previously tested positive for COVID-19 no longer had those antibodies. However, the scientists warned that it doesn't mean they're not immune to the virus. Well, here's some good news. If you're in need of some extra cash, guess what? You may be in luck. The IRS is sending out catch-up economic impact payment checks to roughly 50,000 people. Of course, this happened after an error occurred in the rush to send out stimulus payments that happened earlier this year. 50,000 individuals had part of their payment diverted in an effort to pay their spouses past due child support. The agency identified the error and is set to issue those payments in early to mid-September. Affected individuals don't have to do anything to get the money. The IRS will issue the missing portion of it automatically. And finally, some Bed Bath & Beyond employees will soon be looking elsewhere for work. The retailer just announced it's cutting 2,800 jobs. It's all part of an accelerated restructuring plan. Bed Bath & Beyond's president and CEO, Mark Triton, says the reduction is critical to the foundation of rebuilding its business. And the company also plans to focus on improving, of course, its digital-first shopping environment. Well, don't go anywhere. Just ahead on News On, as you heard earlier, day 2 of the Republican National Convention struck a much different tone. Is this the approach that's been missing? We're going to discuss it all with our panel of experts and what you can expect tonight. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The hottest new razor is taking the men's grooming world by storm. And if you don't have it, you need it. Micro Touch Solo. the hyper-advanced full-body razor that trims, shapes, edges, and even shaves with micro-precision. And it's totally safe to the touch. Go solo for full body control with one tool. No nicks, bumps, or ingrown hairs. Edge beards and goatees with one touch. Clean your neck, barber shop perfect. And check this out. Snap on the guide to tame growth and perfectly shape your full beard. And keep new growth stubble trimmed exactly to your style. And look, the Solo Full Body Groomer trims precisely the length of hair you want. Snap off the guide and remove unwanted hair anywhere in seconds. What makes Solo different than your ordinary razor? Dual-sided German stainless steel blade. Shave up or down at 200 microstrokes per second. The Ultra Flex pivoting head contours perfectly to you for precise results. 3 custom grooming guides for control of exact length and shape. And a built-in LED light so you never miss a spot. Solo is so precise, you need no creams, no soaps, and no water. Ditch the old man clippers and toss the scissors. You've got to go Solo. Call 1-800-709-9777 or go online at microtouchsolo.com and get yours now for only $19.99. Complete with German stainless steel blade, pivoting head, built-in spotlight, and 3 custom grooming guides. Everything you see here for just $19.99. The all-new MicroTouch Solo Full Body Groomer. The one tool that does it all.
Frustrated with heavy rubber hoses that always get tangled and easily kink? Introducing the Bionic Flex Pro hose, the super strong, super tough hose that's ultra light as well. Run over an ordinary hose and it'll easily burst, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose stays intact no matter what runs over it, because its reinforced drag-resistant commercial-grade outer polyester weave makes it tougher and stronger than ever. And its solid brass fittings are crush-proof too. Ordinary hoses kink easily and stop working, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose never kinks. It just keeps flowing strong. And while regular hoses easily get tangled, the Bionic Flex Pro hose is tangle-proof. You can get the 25-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose for just $19.95 with free shipping. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade your order to a 50-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose. Just pay a separate fee, and shipping is still free. Go now.
Call 1-800-313-8062.
And welcome back to News On. I'm Miranda Khan. The people closest to the president, his family, took center stage last night during round 2 of the Republican National Convention. First Lady Melania Trump was the featured speaker last night as the GOP works to reintroduce the president into the American electorate in the midst of the campaign and, of course, the pandemic. Mrs. Trump spoke from the White House, and the president's daughter, Tiffany, and son Eric were also featured. We heard from them a little bit ago. To discuss the impact, though, of those speeches and what we can expect tonight, we'd like to welcome in our very distinguished panel. Joining us on America's Voice News is news contributor and host of the Steve Gruber Show, Steve Gruber himself, and member of Black Voices for Trump and speaker at the RNC tonight, Jack Brewer. So good to have both of you on.
Thank you.
Happy to.
So first, before we get into what's actually happening tonight, and we played some clips, some highlights from last night, but let's start with you, Steve. Who do you think was the most powerful speaker of the night, and why?
Well, clearly Melania Trump had a great evening. She was applauded by people across the spectrum, conservatives and liberals alike. But I've got to be honest with you, Miranda. What I've really enjoyed about the first 2 days are the genuine American stories coming from every direction. The farmer, the woman from Wisconsin, the metal worker from Wisconsin as well, the different voices, the lobster fisherman from Maine. But for me personally, the most powerful, riveting story came from Abby Johnson. I thought she was incredible. I thought she really reached out and resonated about her time at Planned Parenthood and what changed her mind, and the comments about seeing a fetus on an ultrasound beginning to be dismembered and the doctor saying, "Beam me up, Scotty." I don't think there was a more powerful bit of imagery presented all night, and I found her to be powerful. I found Nick Sandman to be an incredible spokesman for delivering the message that the media has played dirty politics this entire cycle and for 3.5 years, and he delivered it in such a clean and elegant way, saying, you overplayed, you basically militarized the media to attack me, a kid who was doing nothing besides putting on a red hat. I thought he was effective. I thought the pace has been terrific. I do think so. I think they've done a fine job because the speech is only 3 or 4 minutes long. There's a nice interlude with another bit. I thought the president pardoning the man who had been in prison for so long, John Ponder, and having the FBI agent there with him, I thought that was another powerful moment. Swearing in new citizens of the United States. I mean, these are terrific moments of real Americans, and that's what's coming across me, genuine American stories, Miranda, and I think that resonates because people around the country can say, I identify with this person or that person, and the arrangement of people, so diverse and dynamic, I think it's really working.
Jack?
I couldn't agree more. American people are feel old. That was the party that freed the slaves. It was the party that put the first African Americans into Congress and into the Senate. I think the American people are seeing who we really are. I think for so long we got away from really the identity of the GOP. But now the American people are seeing that. Miranda, we have 25 congressional candidates right now that are black in the GOP. We're doing amazing things. This country is changing. We're making the lives of the most underserved people better. And I think it's resonating with the American people. I think it's resonating with Black America. I think it's resonating with Hispanics. I think across the board, people are really understanding what policies mean and not focusing on personality. I think the Democrats have for so long want to use identity to divide us. But the United Party, the party of the United States of America, is the GOP, and we're using our policies to unite this nation.
Now, going to what Steve was saying, that you thought that just the average everyday Americans that were featured last night, that really resonated with viewers. Jack, with that in mind, who did you listen to last night that you thought, I can identify with that person?
I mean, the AG Cameron from Kentucky, he spoke so eloquently. And all I could think about was, man, this man is going places. Whether he's going to be the AG of our nation or maybe even the president, but his poise and his ability to articulate the real truth and fact of what's going on in our society was truly powerful. I enjoyed every word that came out of his mouth. I think for me, it was refreshing. It was refreshing to see, an African American like that stands up for God and stands up for the principles that our nation was founded upon, and stands up for the American dream that has allowed this country and of all races, all colors to come together and do so many things. People forget, you talk about America, but we're the nation that supports everyone. We're the nation that, helps feed the hungry. We're the nation that helps heal the sick. We can't forget that. That's who we are. And I think a lot of times it gets lost in our mainstream media, who tries to show us as victims and show everything that's bad about this nation. But this Republican convention is changing the narrative, and I hope that it's resonating with Americans across the board.
Well, I want to talk about where they possibly missed the mark coming up next. And I also want to talk about what we can expect tonight, because, Jack, you're going to be speaking at the RNC tonight. So stick with us right here on News On. Steve Gruber and Jack Brewer will be joining us to break it all down coming up after the break. We'll be right back.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver.
You ready for your weekly meeting?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's do this.
Let's stack the deck.
When legends play, They wear CopperFit Advanced Back Pro. CopperFit's best-selling compression back support just got better with new double-band adjustable supports for customizable compression when you need it most.
Since I put this on, I feel so much better. The core is the most important thing. To know that I'm stabilized here. Whatever I'm doing, I can give it 100%.
4 built-in stabilizing supports designed to improve posture and help reduce lower back stress and strain.
You have back pain and it's affecting your everyday life. You do something.
If you can find something to help you get back out and be active like CopperFit, go for it.
Absolutely.
Do not give up.
A high-performance compression fabric infused with the powerful properties of copper, 360-degree flexible mobility, and lightweight, durable construction.
Nothing more painful than having back pains. If you're aching, if you feel like you can't work out anymore, you can. And that's with CopperFit.
Yeah. It's for all of us who still want to be active, still want to compete.
Way to go. That's what I'm talking about. Man, this really does feel good. It feels to me like the fountain of youth.
CopperFit's best-selling back support just got bigger, badder, and better. Or call 1-800-944-5851. Or on the web at advancedbackpro.com. Get yours now for only $19.99.
This does feel good.
That's what I've been saying.
You think it was fair?
It was fun.
Play for the love of the game.
CopperFit, live limitless.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, only $29.99 with your promo code. With our 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Sleep well, America!
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
And welcome back to News On. I'm Miranda Khan. Joining us once again here on America's Voice News, contributor Steve Gruber and Jack Brewer. Now, I realize you guys are both supporters of the president, but we always like to kind of keep things as balanced as we possibly can on this news show. So I'm going to ask each of you briefly, because we have a lot of ground to cover, but I want to start with you, Steve. If there's anything that the RNC can improve upon when it comes to this convention, or any areas where you think they've kind of missed the mark, what would those be?
I actually think that the convention has come off quite well. I'm not going to kid you. I think the pacing has been terrific. The messaging has been terrific. And the variety of the people and the voices we're hearing from have been a top shelf all the way through. You've got a Democrat Party that last week offered us a season of darkness. Really? This is what you're offering America. And they brushed over the problems in places like Portland and Seattle that's now spilled into Kenosha, Wisconsin. Didn't even discuss that, which is obviously quite important to Americans across this country, that people are burning down their own towns with looting and destruction. 2 people killed in Kenosha last night, as you well know. It's liberty versus tyranny. It's freedom versus fascists. It's capitalism versus communism. It's the season of darkness as opposed to a season of hope. And I'm serious about this, and I thought they've done a fine job. And you mentioned the ratings here just a moment ago, Miranda. I just want to touch on that for a second, because it struck me this way. In 2016, it was about this time of the year we really started to see the Trump signs blossoming. This year, they're Trump flags, but they're blossoming right now in Ohio, in Michigan, certainly in Wisconsin and Minnesota. And what I'm seeing here is a movement back towards the president. I truly believe the Democrats found their high water mark last week. And if Joe Biden wants to try to run a campaign from his basement, he's going to be sorely disappointed in the outcome. And then you have Hillary Clinton weighing in with her comments. I hope Joe Biden must not give in and concede. The reason that is, she knows he's going to lose. Why else would she give that advice? Don't concede under any circumstance. We need to drag this out. We have an army of lawyers. We can win if we can drag it out and work the system. That's what Hillary's saying. Fact of the matter is, America's turning toward the Trump. Go ahead.
Yeah, an interesting point. There's some things I want to bring up with you, Jack, and I want to get to Kenosha in just a moment, but I know you personally, we've hosted together on another network. I know that you were a huge supporter of Obama back in the day, and now you are on and have been on the Trump. So go into a little bit, if you could, briefly about that, and then what we can expect to hear from you tonight, what message you hope to bring to the American people during the RNC tonight.
I mean, I'm a lifelong Democrat. I voted for only one Republican in my life, and that was Donald Trump, because, I took a chance and I listened to him when he said, Black America, what do you have to lose? And so, for me, it's deep. Like a lot of African Americans, we're taught as kids that we vote Democratic. We're taught as kids from our parents and our grandparents that the Republican Party is not in support of Black America. And so that's something hard to break when culturally you're told this all your life. And so when you start looking at the policies, that was what got it for me. When I started seeing Barack Obama take our country so far left, start to get so far away from the principles of God, then starting to understand that they represent late-term abortions and all these other crazy demonic things. At some point, you have to put your morality and your beliefs in God ahead of who you want to vote for, because their personality may be similar to yours, or the way they speak or look may be similar to yours. And so the Democrats know what they're doing. They try to use identity to divide us and get us away from free thought. And so it's not going to work this time, I can tell you. And so, my message is about that today. My message is about let's stop using race and let's start uniting our country, because, we are one nation under God. And if we can't really believe that and take that on as a society, then we're going to be lost. And so we are going to continue to be divided if we want to, call our president racist. Well, I don't want my kids to think that my president is racist. I don't want my kids to hear the media portraying our president like that. In my house, we pray for our president. And so if we can't really, truly have these type of discussions, then as a nation, we're going to have issues. And so, I'll end by saying this. When I made the switch, I started to get attacks from everywhere. And it's sad to see. And when you hear President Trump talk about the witch hunts and the attacks, it's real, man. And it's not just real for him. It's also real for people like me who take a stand for what they believe in. And that shouldn't be the way that America operates. It really shouldn't be that way. You should be able to freely speak what you want, but we have an issue. And on November 3rd of this year, we got to take a stand. This is much deeper than politics. We have to take a stand for the principles and the morality in our nation. And I'm willing to lay everything on the line to do that. And I'm so proud to support this president.
Jack, thank you so much. And when are you going to be speaking tonight?
I don't know exactly the time. You don't find that out until...
Couldn't even give us a little hint. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. But we're going to have live wall-to-wall coverage here on America's Voice. So we will listen to you speak. That's going to be beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern time right here on America's Voice. Dr. Gina Loudon, she's going to be in D.C. We have contributors all over the country participating in our analysis. But we're not going to interrupt you. We're going to let you speak, and then we'll talk later after we get to hear all these wonderful speeches. Before I let you go, I do want to kind of go back to what Steve is bringing up about Kenosha, because I do find that interesting. Obviously, we heard about First Lady Melania Trump trying to send this message of unity. We've seen all these riots erupt. As Steve mentioned, at least 2 people are dead after a shooting in Kenosha, Wisconsin last night. A 3rd gunshot victim is in the hospital recovering from injuries. What is your take as you hear the president saying, back the blue? You hear Democrats continuing to push out this message that Black Lives Matter. I think personally Nikki Haley tried to address both issues the first night of the RNC. What is just your take on this whole thing that you're hearing from Democrats and Republicans, and what message do you have for the country?
I don't think that the two sides are going to come together in agreement, because I think you have one side that wants division. I think one side, as Ms. Haley so eloquently said, I think one side wants to make them mutually exclusive, and they're not. You can do both. You can be concerned about Black and brown people in America and still support police officers. We can't forget that there's a lot of police officers that are Black and brown. There are a lot of police officers that are doing their jobs to serve their communities. And until we put accountability back, put accountability on both sides, on police officers and accountability on citizens, I can tell you this. And when I watch a video or I see things that happen, I always look at it as myself or my son. And I can tell you right now that if my son disrespects a police officer, resists arrest, pushes away from a police officer, runs away from a police officer, if the police doesn't stop him or hurt him, when he gets home, I'm going to. And I think that's the problem in our nation, is we don't keep our kids accountable anymore. And we push this narrative that we support anybody, no matter what they do. There is right and there is wrong. And when a law enforcement officer who's out there protecting the streets tells you to stop, you stop. When he speaks to you, you listen and you respect. If we don't have that as our foundation, then we're never going to agree. Because I'm personally not going to agree with anybody who disrespects a law enforcement officer, a teacher, a parent, or any elder. And I think that is really the issue that we're taking on in America.
Steve, other than Jack himself, who are you looking forward to hearing from tonight?
Well, after what Jack just told me right there, I think he's top of the play card. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of things going on in America. I did hear Julia Jackson, Jacob Blake's mother, yesterday make some pleas for peace and understanding, and talked about God and making it the United States of America. This is as her son lays in a hospital bed, paralyzed, we're told. We don't know all of the facts about what happened in Kenosha, but you know what? I have a lot of respect for what she said in a difficult situation. We'll find out what the facts are as the investigation goes forward. But it's Julia Jackson not afraid to say, let's bring God back into the conversation. Obviously, I'm looking forward to hear from Mike Pence and the Second Family and all of these folks. But I think the conversation, we cannot ignore the violence in the streets and the war in the streets in our cities. We need accountability. And let's be honest, Miranda, this whole anti-police movement started back during the Obama administration. I might point out the 5 police officers gunned down in Dallas, murdered, defending those that were marching for Black Lives Matter. Gunned down, some of those African-American officers. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, not long after that, 6 officers shot, 3 died. This whole anti-police movement has been fomented for a number of years in this country. It's time for accountability, and I agree with Jack completely. We need to keep our kids accountable. We need more dads doing their job in this country. We need more moms stepping up and doing their job in this country. Parents holding their kids accountable and not just saying, they're going to do what they do. It's time for parents to step up, and I couldn't agree with Jack more.
Jack, who are you looking forward to hearing from tonight?
Well, I just want to first off get through my speech. But
how many times have you practiced?
A bunch, but the problem is I've changed it 4 times. But this last one, I think I did it. But I'm really looking forward to hearing also Burgess Owens. As a former NFL player, a man of God who's running for Congress, I'm just excited for him. I really am. I know how much this means to him. I know the commitment that he's made for this country, and truly stepping out there in office. For a guy that doesn't have to, he didn't need to do this. He's not doing it for the publicity or the money. He's truly doing it because he cares about this nation. And I wish him well. I really do. I'm looking forward to hearing him speak, and I hope that he resonates with the American viewers.
So do you write the speech yourself, or do you have people helping you? Because we've heard some incredible lines, especially, I would say, even the first night.
Yeah, they sent me a speech. I didn't like it. I can't really speak my words. So, they helped me with a couple edits, but yeah, it's definitely my speech. You'll know it's my speech when you see it.
I think so. Definitely. Again, I want to remind everybody to stay tuned to America's Voice News live coverage. Again, that's beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Dr. Gina Loudon, our president of programming, I think she's probably already arrived in D.C. right now. She's preparing for that. We also have Amanda Head, who's on our West Coast. We just have people all over the country, Denver, you name it, all over the area, and even people who are in Louisiana, and that can be a little tough right now because Louisiana and Texas, obviously they're bracing for Hurricane Laura. We're going to have more on that in just a moment. But Jack Brewer, Steve Gruber, thank you so much for joining us here on News On. And Jack, best of luck to you. You're going to kill it. You're going to knock it out of the park. I can see it.
Well, I claim that in Jesus' name.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. So all eyes are in the Gulf right now, just keeping a very close watch on Texas as Hurricane Laura is inching closer to that area. We're going to give you the very latest track coming up next.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life.
They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I fall asleep faster because I'm actually comfortable.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. I guarantee you the first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors and will be the softest, most comfortable sheets you will ever own. Use the promo code and get 2 for 1 low price, plus free shipping. Giza Dreams are made with the finest, most sought-after cotton in the world. Giza cotton was once reserved for only the finest dress shirts, but is now available in Mike's Giza Dream Sheets. They feature a beautiful silky sateen weave that helps keep you cool and comfortable all night long.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best rest of my life.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Use the promo code and Mike will give you a very special 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. That's right, get 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. Call or go online now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Hi, Hunter Ellis here for Night Hero Binoculars by Atomic Beam. These binoculars let you see anything, even in pitch black darkness. Gotcha.
The secrets are powerful wide-angle atomic beam laser that reveals objects up to 150 yards away, hidden by darkness.
During the day, Night Hero gives you 10 times magnification, and when the sun goes down, press the Night Bright button to see clearly in the dark.
Light up garbage-eating critters or spot thieves before they even get close.
Call or click now and get Night Hero binoculars with laser illumination technology for just $39.99. You'll also get a protective carrying case, yours free. Order right now and you can double it. Plus, get our best-selling atomic beam flashlight, just pay separate fee. We'll even ship them to you free. You can get it all, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-788-1008. That's 1-800-788-1008. Or visit bynighthero.com. That's bynighthero.com. Order now.
And welcome back to News On. Hurricane Laura continuing to grow in strength as it heads towards the Gulf Coast. At last check, the storm hit sustained winds of 110 miles per hour. Wow. That means that Laura is just 1 mile short of becoming classified as a major Cat 3 hurricane. The wind gusts are expected to get stronger, too, by the hour. It could become a Category 4 even hurricane when it hits Louisiana or Texas today. Thoughts and prayers are with you. That could also happen today into Thursday, according to the National Hurricane Center. A Texas county has already issued mandatory evacuations ahead of this hurricane. For much more on the storms, let's send it over to Weather Nation's Patrick Crawford.
Thank you, Miranda. We're continuing the coverage of Hurricane Laura here at Weather Nation, where we are looking at major impacts to the Gulf Coast of Texas and Louisiana. Category 3 hurricane with wind speeds of 125 miles per hour. That makes it a major hurricane. When we refer to a major hurricane, that's a hurricane that can cause catastrophic damage, billions of dollars of damage, and that is going to be on the way. The National Hurricane Center is mentioning that the storm surge could be unsurvivable into the Gulf Coast of Texas and Louisiana. So let's look at the latest forecast track. Category 3, wind speeds 125 miles per hour. Those winds picking up as this storm moves into that favorable environment. Just nothing working against this system to weaken it or allow it to fall apart, or at least to allow it just to maintain its strength. It's going to get even stronger just before it moves on shore, right there into southwest Louisiana and or over into the far northern coast of Texas along the Gulf of Mexico. Now, once this storm moves on shore, latest timing for landfall will be late tonight, very, very early in the morning hours on Thursday. But once the storm just continues that northerly track, might even maintain Category 1 hurricane strength moving through East Texas and northern Louisiana, and then eventually weakening to a remnant low and then pushing towards the mid-Atlantic by the weekend. Now, when we're looking at the alerts, hurricane warnings ongoing, Port Arthur, Lake Charles, Alexandria. This is where those hurricane force winds are expected. That means power outages. That means major damage to life and property with this storm. I mentioned the ingredients just working in favor of this storm. Moisture and water temperature, those are on the high side. Bath water for this storm to work with sea surface temperatures ranging from 85 to 87 degrees. And then the storm is just sitting, the center of circulation is just sitting right over the warm Gulf of Mexico. So there's no land interaction. There's nothing to help tear this storm apart. It's just going to continue to strengthen. The storm surge is going to be a major factor with this forecast. Anywhere from far southeastern Louisiana all the way down along the Gulf Coast of Texas. This is the reason for the mandatory evacuations that have been ordered into southern Louisiana and the Gulf Coast of Texas. Then as the storm makes its way onshore, we've got the flooding potential. We're going to get tropical rains, 10 to 15 inches as a possibility, anywhere from the coast of Louisiana up into the northern part of the natural state of Arkansas. We're going to see that significant rain. Just following along with Laura, dropping that significant rain. When we start to see some of those grayer colors on the map, that's getting above 7 inches, but there's some areas down here into Louisiana might be getting up to a foot of rain, maybe 12, 13, 14. Can't even rule out isolated spots, up to 15 inches of rainfall potential. Now, this is the excessive rainfall outlook, and that's going to continue to be a big factor with the forecast through really the rest of today, tonight, early tomorrow morning. But then also as we get through Thursday and into Friday, that rain is just going to continue to come down. It is a moderate risk for flooding potential. So we always focus on all the different weather threats that a hurricane or a tropical storm can bring. I went into detail on the storm surge. There's also going to be the heavy rain and the tropical downpours that could lead to that flooding. So I think a lot of areas are going to have flooded roadways. We also have to worry about the waterways, the streams, the creeks and rivers. Those are going to be filling up as well and overflowing their banks. So storm surge, yes, along the coast. That's a big concern. But the amount of moisture this storm is going to have to work with, we could be looking at significant rainfall. Like I mentioned, 10 to 15 inches of rainfall overall. And there's more updates, of course, on weathernationtv.com. I'm going to send it back to you in the studio.
So hard to see that. I actually spent some time living in Lake Charles and still have friends out there. Again, my thoughts and prayers are with you for a look at how things are looking on the ground right now. Let's send it out to Ben McMillan, who's covering the storm from the Gulf.
Yeah, hey guys, Ben McMillan for America's Voice News on the Louisiana coast, continuing to track major Hurricane Laura. We've been following this all week, and now it's achieved that major status, which is Category 3 or above. And here in Holly Beach, you can see storm surge, an issue already coming in over these dunes, washing parts of them away, and that's just going to go up in depth and intensity as the evening goes on into the early morning hours on your Thursday. We're expecting storm surge as high as 15 feet in some areas, and that could be devastating for this small Louisiana town. You can see behind me some of the buildings here were built stronger and higher after Hurricane Rita devastated this area in 2005. So stricter building codes have prepared many for this, but that might not prepare folks for the strong winds we're expecting with this storm that could rip off roofs, blow out windows, and make this a very dangerous situation for anyone remaining here despite evacuation orders on the Louisiana coast. So anywhere from Houston all the way over to New Orleans, make sure you're aware of this hurricane. Make sure you're following up-to-date information and keeping your family safe. America's Voice will be in the field keeping you up to date with breaking news and letting you know what the latest is. That's it for now. We'll throw it back to you.
And please heed to those warnings and evacuate. Coming up next, it's time to hear from you when we give America the voice it deserves. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss it. You're watching News On.
Stay tuned to get a free pan from Granite Stone. Stuck on eggs, burnt on batter. You can scrub and scrape, but you can't escape the nightmare of your sticky pans. Introducing the Granite Stone Pan, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Watch, we melted down these sticky candies in Granite Stone, and it just doesn't stick. We cooked a half a dozen eggs, bacon, cheese, and tomato breakfast with no butter or oil, and it just doesn't stick. Look, caramels, chocolate, and cheese. Unreal for any other pan, but not for Granite Stone. It just doesn't stick. Granite Stone will be the last pan you'll ever need because it's pressed from a solid aluminum disc for even heat conduction, then coated 3 times with our durable Granite Stone finish. Granite Stone is metal utensil safe and won't scratch. And talk about non-stick. This salmon cooked skin side down with no added butter or oil just doesn't stick. This steak is perfectly seared just like the pros. And because Granite Stone is oven rated to 500 degrees, we bake this upside down pan pizza to perfection, and it just doesn't stick. Fire Flambe Delicious Cherries Jubilee. Plus it's PFOA free and 100% dishwasher safe. Call or go online to get your Granite Stone pan for the special TV discount price of just $19.99. Granite Stone is so durable it comes with a 10-year warranty. And with every order, you're going to get a Granite Stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. It's the perfect size for personalized eggs, omelets, or frittatas that slide right out. It makes the best bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich quick. Yours absolutely free. We'll even ship your entire order free. That's right, free shipping. You get it all, an incredible value. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-850-0237. That's 1-800-850-0237, or order online at buygranitestone.com. That's 1-800-850-0237. Call now.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, only $29.99 with your promo code. With our 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Sleep well, America!
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
And welcome back to News On. Here at America's Voice News, our goal is to give you a voice Simply join our community platform, which you can find on our website at americasvoice.news, or you could reach out to us on our social media handles. Submit your comment or question, and guess what? We may just air it right here on this very program. So we asked you, how do you feel right after night 2 of the RNC? And we're thrilled to see some of the responses to last night's coverage. So let's go ahead and begin with this comment from Olivera Jovanovic, who said that the First Lady's speech spoke to her heart and soul, she says, and that it is admirable and refreshing to see First Lady be a lady, loving mother, supporter, and wife. Thank you so much for submitting that comment to us. And a lot of other comments coming in. We have another one. This one is from Sally Stewart. She believes that last night, quote, reached into the heart of the hardworking people. We heard this from some of our panels as well, that don't feel they have a voice but have been given one with this administration. Mrs. Stewart, thank you so much for your comment. Always nice to hear from you and let your voice be heard. And finally, we have some critiques from both last night's Republican National Convention and the Democratic National Convention. Cap Kessler joined in on the conversation, saying that, quote, Democrats will continue to tell the public that everything Republicans are saying is a lie. Democrats will continue to support the hatred of police instead of waiting for the full story to come out. Clearly in reference to the shooting that we mentioned earlier in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He also went on to say that there will be, quote, no winners, only an increased division of America. Very interesting take, Mr. Kessler, so really do appreciate it. Just proves that we are just this unique blend of our country that has, no opinion is alike, and we want, again, to let your voice be heard. So please join the community or go to our social media handles and let us know. So even though we're pretty much smack dab in the middle of summer, the nostalgia of fall is calling, and Starbucks is there to answer. And how it's going to do that? Well, it's bringing back a favorite, at least a favorite of mine, probably a favorite of yours too. Yep, the pumpkin spice lattes are back. I love those. My waistline doesn't love them as much, but I love them. The company actually released all of its fall faves earlier than ever this year. We're seeing this kind of as a trend with other companies as well. I think we mentioned it when it came to Halloween candy. Besides that, the new menu options are a pumpkin cream cold brew or salted caramel mocha or frap. Bakery items too, like pumpkin bread or scone and pumpkin cream cheese muffins. Oh, they sound delightful. They're all on the menu. And despite being featured heavily in the news recently, the U.S. Postal Service just unveiled new Forever stamps with a simple yet important message. I love this. Love it. The words "thank you" are highlighted in gold foil. The stamp's background features 4 different fall colors. The cursive script and elegant floral design are the work of artist Dana Tamachi. The Postal Service says the stamp highlights the kindness Americans should be thankful for during this trying year, and it's so good to remind us of that. And here's something you don't see every day. A Salt Lake City company, are you ready for this, is willing to pay you $1,000 for a 48-hour digital detox. So what is a digital detox, you may be asking? Well, if you're interested in overcoming, that Zoom fatigue, this is a contest that will pay you to go offline in an RV at one of America's national parks. Now, they won't supply you with the RV, of course not, but they will reimburse you for the rental if you win, separate from the $1,000 prize. The company Satellite Internet, which helps people get online in remote places, is encouraging all of us to enjoy the good old great outdoors. At the end of the 48 hours, Satellite Internet will provide the winner with a digital hotspot to reconnect from wherever they are. Then you are expected to share your digital detox offline experience then go back online. Details are on the satellite internet website. And while it sounds easy enough, you might ask yourself, when was the last time you went 48 hours without any screen time? I think I've done that pretty recently. Not now, though, of course. The brown vest and the matching skirts are gone. When it comes to the Girl Scouts, they are updating their look. The organization released their new apparel collection. 3 students from the Fashion Institute of Technology came up with the new wardrobe. You can see it right there. The designers worked to combine the classic Girl Scout uniform with the style that allows them to be more individuals. I like it. What do you think? The new uniform includes a new vest, as you can see, a sash, as well as a variety of crew neck t-shirts, pocketed spandex leggings, a soft knit sweater dress, and a light wash denim jacket. Yeah, I thought they were kind of cool. Let us know what you think. Go to our social media channels and let us know. The outfits come in a variety of sizes and price ranges from $10, wow, $10 to $49. Prices have definitely gone up. Well, that will do it for this edition of News On. As always, you can follow us on social media and join our community page on our website. Again, that's americasvoice.news. And correction here, our live team coverage of the Republican National Convention actually begins at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Of course, we're going to be covering it throughout the day with all of our programming. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Actually, I'll see you tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Stay tuned to get a free pan from Granite Stone. Stuck on eggs, burnt on batter. You can scrub and scrape, but you can't escape the nightmare of your sticky pans. Introducing the Granite Stone Pan, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Watch, we melted down these sticky candies in Granite Stone, and it just doesn't stick. We cooked a half a dozen eggs, bacon, cheese, and tomato breakfast with no butter or oil, and it just doesn't stick. Look, caramels, chocolate, and cheese. Unreal for any other pan, but not for Granite Stone. It just doesn't stick. Granite Stone will be the last pan you'll ever need because it's pressed from a solid aluminum disc for even heat conduction, then coated 3 times with our durable Granite Stone finish. Granite Stone is metal utensil safe and won't scratch. And talk about non-stick. This salmon cooked skin side down with no added butter or oil just doesn't stick. This steak is perfectly seared, just like the pros. And because Granite Stone is oven rated to 500 degrees, we bake this upside down pan pizza to perfection, and it just doesn't stick. Fire Flambe Delicious Cherries Jubilee. Plus, it's PFOA free and 100% dishwasher safe. Call or go online to get your Granite Stone pan for the special TV discount price of just $19.99. Granite Stone is so durable it comes with a 10-year warranty. And with every order, you're going to get a Granite Stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. It's the perfect size for personalized eggs, omelets, or frittatas that slide right out. It makes the best bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich quick. Yours absolutely free. We'll even ship your entire order free. That's right, free shipping. You get it all, an incredible value. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-850-0237. That's 1-800-850-0237 or order online at buygranitestone.com. That's 1-800-850-0237. Call now.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body